Hello everyone, welcome to Abhyas Aid channel. I am Dr. Karthikeya. In this video, we are going to discuss physics JEE mains weightage and detailed analysis of what are the easiest chapters, what are moderate chapters, what are slightly difficult chapters based on the last previous year analysis and understanding of different students' mentality and topic wise how people are able to solve the questions. Based on that, we analyzed different topics, how which kind of questions are coming and how many questions are coming. Based on that, we classified different chapters. Now in this video, we know that NTA has taken this JEE mains conducting from 2018. So initially we know that it was started giving 30 questions in 2008 with choice. So after that in 2020 we have 25 questions, no choice. Afterwards we had hit back with the COVID. So because of that, again the choice came into picture from 21 to 24. Now you know that after this notification, we got only 25 questions without choice. So that is a pattern in 2 to 25. So that means in this type of pattern, if you get 60 to 70 marks, you will get good percentile, about 95, 99 also you will get. So like 60 to 70 if you are getting physics, so you will get 99 percentile also. So that was my understanding. Now if you try to observe, so what are the topics you must study? So for especially for the JEE mains. So first year topics, if you try to observe, so first topic, units and measurement. Next, error analysis, vernier calipers and screw gauge, every time we are getting one question. Next, work power energy including circular motion, you are getting pakka one question mostly. Center of mass and collisions, rotation motion, KTG and thermodynamics, which is also more important. Waves, fluid mechanics, exclude surface tension, gravitation and surface tension. So up to surface tension, fluid mechanics, if you try to see, you are getting both in gravitation also one of the important topic. So in second year topics, if you try to see, so must study topics are electrostatics, current electricity, magnetic effects of current, electromagnetic induction, ray optics, wave optics, dual nature of DNRM, matter and radiation, atomic physics, electromagnetic waves and semiconductors, which are very important. Now going to the in detailed analysis. So we have only 25 questions, but if you consider first year 15 topics, second year 14 topics, out of 29, which topics you are getting exactly one question. So that kind of topics of chapters we analyzed and we are giving. So first one. So after that, so these are how many in the previous thing? 8 plus 10, 18. So out of 25, 18 completed. 18 questions completed, 8 plus 10. So these are the one questions from each chapter. Now clubbed things. So that means thermal physics, expansion, heat transfer, like conduction, convection, radiation. So and motion in 1D, 2D, Newton's law of motion. Friction, if you consider, you will get one question. No, it is two questions. So next, mechanical properties of solids and surface tension. Next, SHM, okay, simple harmonic motion, capacitance, magnetism and matter, nuclear physics, alternating current, if you try to read. So these last four are may or may not. So may or may not, okay. 0 or 1 question from each chapter, 0 or 1. 0 or 1, 0 or 1, like 0 or 1. So totally 10 plus 8, 18 plus 8, 26 topics I have given in this video. And what happened? You try to read these topics, you focus on that, you will get 25 questions. Now after this, based on the student analysis, we have divided the easy, medium, difficult chapters also. So that are also we will see now. Now if you try to see easy list based on the students type of analysis, how students are feeling. If you try to observe, first one is units and dimension. Next one, current electricity, dual nature of matter and radiation, atomic and nuclear physics, electromagnetic waves, semiconductors, and motion in 1D, 2D, Newton's law of motion, including friction. So you are getting 2 questions in that chapter practically. All the things, if you try to complete, you will get 2 questions. Similarly, if you see easy to moderate, how people are feeling. KTG in thermodynamics, I feel it's somewhat, many formulas are there. People used to feel difficulty. Next, gravitation also, okay. Next, work power energy, including circular motion, magnetic effects of matter, waves, ray optics, wave optics, EMI and AC, electrostatics. These are also easy to moderate. So previous one is easy, 7 plus 9. Next one, so moderate means thermal properties of matter. So including calorimetry, what is heat, what is temperature, thermal expansions like linear expansion, next volume expansion, and that is alpha, beta, gamma relation, and how you are getting those 3 things. And types of heat transfer, you know that thermal properties of matter like conduction, convection, radiation will be there. Any different laws are there, like, okay. Next, Newton's law of cooling, Stephen's law, next Wein's law, all these things are there. Capacitance also, it is also one of the big chapter, but okay, you will get moderate people feel. Similarly, difficult chapters, so it's not that much difficult, but okay. Center of mass and momentum, so maybe people will while doing calculation they will feel difficulty. Rotational body dynamics, that is rotation motion, you have parallax theorem, perpendicular axis theorem, angular momentum, all these topics people used to feel difficulty while answering the like calculation. Fluid mechanics, it's also one of the easiest, but sometimes tricky things will be there. So at that place some calculation mistakes are keeping the density wrong values, all these things are there. So that's why this is somewhat people will feel difficulty, slightly difficult, not completely difficult. So these are the analysis. Now if you now we try to see how based on the previous one couple of years 1 or 5 papers, how which topic is important in which chapter we are going to discuss in this video. Now if you try to observe JEE Mains 5 years previous year questions, that is 104 previous year questions. So if you try to observe in the units and measurement, most of the questions are coming from either dimension analysis or measuring instruments like vernier caliper, screw gauge, and applications of dimension analysis. And in vectors and calculus you are getting more questions. Most of the questions came from dot product. Similarly, in motion in straight line, most of the questions came in the motion under gravity, followed by speed and velocity and graphs. So after that, in motion in 2D, you have more questions on the projectile motion, ground to ground projection. Then in Newton's law of motion, more questions came in laws of motion and its applications. Okay. Next, in friction, you have inclined type problems, you got more questions. Similarly, work power energy, there are more chances in the questions that are related to work energy theorem. Similarly, in circular motion, we have more questions related to dynamics of circular motion. System of particles and center of mass, if you try to observe, you have calculation of center of mass, that's important. And collisions, we have got more questions related to that. And there are more chances because many models are related to whatever models I told. Similarly, in rotational motion, you have more questions related to, just now I told, torque, moment of inertia and its theorem, followed by angular momentum. Similarly, in gravitation, we have more questions related to satellite motion, variation of gravity, acceleration due to gravity due to height and depth. So then followed by satellite motion. In mechanical properties of solids and fluids, if you try to observe, most of the questions are related to elastic behavior, longitudinal stress, Young's modulus, followed by in mechanical properties of fluids, we have Bernoulli's theorem, continuity equation and its application, like Venturi meter, all these things, R-phase meter. In thermal properties of matter, I just told in thermal expansion and calorimetry, we have more questions. In KTG and thermodynamics, most of the things are related to laws of thermodynamics and its applications. In KTG, we have different types of gas molecules, RMS, velocity, all these things. In SHM, we have more questions related to phase, velocity and acceleration. In waves topic, if you try to observe, you have more questions related to velocity of wave, energy, power, reflection of waves and standing waves. In electric charges and fields, more questions are related to Coulomb force, electric field and field lines. Then, if you try to observe electrostatic potential and capacitance, you have more questions related to capacitance, electrostatic potential and potential energy. In current electricity, most of the questions are related to series parallel combination of resistance followed by different drift velocity and basic things, Ohm's law and power and heat dissipated. And also you have more questions related to, in current electricity, most of the questions are related to current measuring instrument, that are galvanometer, potentiometer, all these things. So ammeter and all the things. So moving charges and magnetism, if you try to observe, most of the questions are related to motion of charged particles in magnetic field and magnetic force and cyclotron. Magnetism and matter, you have more questions related to magnetism, moment. Okay. So in electromagnetic induction, if you try to observe, more questions are related to magnetic flux, Faraday's laws, induced EMF, and their in different kinds of equipment. Similarly, in alternating current, most of the questions are related to AC source with RLC connected in series. This is important. In electromagnetic waves, if you try to observe the relation between B and E and energy density intensity, we got more questions. So after that, if you go to the in details of ray optics, if you try to observe, you have spherical mirrors. Mainly it is related to refraction from plane surface followed by spherical mirrors and total internal reflection, critical angle. In wave optics, most of the questions are related to Young's double slit experiment and white light. Similarly, in dual nature of matter and radiation in matter, you have more questions related to photoelectric effect and de Broglie wavelength. In atoms, nuclei, you have more questions related to atomic model and hydrogen spectrum and mass defect and binding energy and radioactive decay. Similarly, in semiconductors, so most important topic, if you try to observe, so it is related to semiconductors, then transistor, logic gates, every question, more questions are there, less topics, subtopics. So communication system, it was deleted in 24 and 25 also. So I hope you enjoyed this session. So we have given a detailed analysis of which chapters you need to cover, which topics you need to cover. Thank you. All the best.